Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The politics of this country is taking shape very, very fast. Raila Odinga today held a meeting with the Mount Kenya Foundation, and I will do a comprehensive analysis about that meeting tomorrow, because a lot of information were revealed during that meeting. For example, the former Molo Member of Parliament, Honorable Njenga Mwingai, has revealed that President Uhuru Kenyatta reached out to Raila Odinga because his deputy, the Deputy President Dr. William Samoei Ruto, had planned to impeach the president from office or just make him useless there. So a lot of information is being revealed. But for now, I want us to look at why the Mount Kenya Foundation is going to play a key role in 2022 general election, and why their main objective is actually to kick out the Deputy President Dr. William Samoei Ruto from the larger Mount Kenya region. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you just to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want you guys to support this channel, and the best way is just to click the subscribe button. Now, let us go back to the main issue. The Mount Kenya Foundation is a non-political organization, but very influential in determining the future of the larger Mount Kenya region, politically speaking, and economically. So the meeting they are having with Raila Odinga today is significant. And President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto became the President of the Republic of Kenya, courtesy of this group. Mwai Kibaki, in his second term, actually also made it to presidency again because of this group. And there's one thing about the larger Mount Kenya region from what I've observed from this meeting. This is a group which you cannot wish away. And as a matter of fact, the larger Mount Kenya region is going to determine who becomes the next president of the Republic of Kenya. And William Ruto had anticipated or had hoped to win the support of the larger Mount Kenya region. But that's not happening. And let me just assure you one thing. William Ruto might not really become the next president of the Republic of Kenya after this particular meeting. The Mount Kenya Foundation determines the politics of the larger Mount Kenya region. William Ruto and his bid are pegged on the support of the larger Mount Kenya region. Mount Kenya region determines politics in that region and in Kenya in general because of three reasons. Number one, Mount Kenya region has been in power for a long time. They were in power during Mzee Kenyatta, the late. During that period, they were in power. So they accumulated wealth, and during that period, they really understand what power can do. And then between the period the former president died, Mzee Kenyatta died, Moi took over, until the time Kibaki took over, those 24 years, these guys suffered. And they did everything possible to retain the presidency again, to win it. So in 2002, Kibaki became the president of the Republic of Kenya. And you all understand how these guys thwarted any attempt by Raila Odinga to win the presidency in 2007. Because Raila Odinga actually won the presidency, but he was not allowed anywhere near power. So these guys understand the importance of power. And that's why in 2013, they were able to make President Uhuru Kenyatta the president of the Republic of Kenya. So it means after losing power, they got it, they held it for the next 20 years. Which means between these 20 years, they've also done a lot. They lost during Moi era. In fact, the moment Kibaki took over, companies like TransCentury made a comeback into this country, and they made money. And 2013 is not going to be, 2022 is going to be different because Mount Kenya might not produce a president. But because these guys have been in power, they've lost power and won it again, they're not just going to let it go. So they understand what power is, and they still control the state machinery. So it will be difficult for someone they don't support to become the president. And this is something which should worry the deputy president. If I were the deputy president, I would not look for Ndindi Nyoro. I would not look for Alice Wahome. I'll not look for Kimani Ichung'wah. I'll look for these people. I'll look for these men, persuade them to make me the president. So they understand power. That's number one. Number two is the votes. Mount Kenya region have the numbers, but they can't produce a presidential candidate in 2022. The country will reject. And because of that, where are they going to put these votes? So that makes them a region which you can't ignore. And that's why almost all presidential candidates in this country are trying to go or to rush to the larger Mount Kenya region for a running mate. And number three is the economy, for example. When you talk of economy, when Kibaki was contesting against Raila, there was some 10 million plate dinner, where these guys just met, I think 100 of them. Each one walikula ugali nyama na mukimo. 10 million each. Kibaki raised campaign money. So they're actually able to raise funds. If Raila Odinga struggled in 2017, because of money, this group will pump money in his campaign. If the deputy president is bragging about money, I don't think William Ruto has the kind of money some of these individuals have. So because of those, Mount Kenya region is going to play a key role in determining who becomes the next president of the Republic of Kenya. But why are they meeting today? What is the objective of the meeting today? Before we do that, let me just show you a bit briefly about the Mount Kenya Foundation, the people there. The chairperson of the Mount Kenya Foundation is a guy called Peter Munga. Peter Munga is the former chairperson of Equity Bank. He's the owner of Britam, and he also ran a chain of schools called Pioneer Group of Schools. This is one of the billionaires from that region. In his speech during that event, he actually endorsed Raila Odinga. Now, number two is Titus Ibui. Ibui is the chairperson of LAPSET. LAPSET, for those who understand, that's where the money for infrastructure is the chairperson, which means even the tenders there, he controls. He's the founder of the Bell Industries. Those who are in agriculture and health solutions understand what Bell Industries is. They deal with the pesticides, they deal with the fertilizers. It's a big thing. It's actually one of the top companies in Africa when it comes to agriculture. So it's a member of the foundation. Then there is Michael Waweru. Michael Waweru was the former Commissioner General of KRA. For you to be appointed there, it's not a joke. He has interest in Transcentury. He's a major shareholder there. Kenya Airways, East African Cable. Then there is Dennis Waweru. Dennis Waweru is not new. He's the former member of parliament for Dagoretti South. He's an investment banker. He's the co-chairperson of the Building Bridges Initiative process. This is one of the billionaires we have from the larger region, Kenya region. And then there's Mutuma Nkanata, who is the coordinator of the group, very influential from Meru. That's just a few of them. Even the George Muhoho, is also here, part of this group, and I've seen his image with the Raila Odinga. So this group controls a lot when it comes to the larger Mount Kenya region, the economy, and people are today saying that probably Mount Kenya region is one of the most organized regions in this country. It's because of this group. When they are presenting, you could even tell they have data, the number of youth groups, the number of companies that are operated. Very serious team. But why are they meeting today? This meeting is about four things. Number one is the Mount Kenya position on Uhuru Kenyatta succession politics. Uhuru Kenyatta is the current president of the Republic of Kenya. There is no way you can tell me that Mount Kenya region will not want to have a say on who succeeds President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2022. They want to know who is going to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. And if someone is going to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta, what is it that the larger Mount Kenya region is going to benefit? economically, how are they going to benefit? So these guys have reviewed the CVs of the current presidential candidates, and they've actually arrived at Raila Odinga, and that's why Raila Odinga was invited to this particular meeting. So that's the first thing, the position of the larger Mount Kenya region. Remember, the deputy president, and this is why I have always maintained here, that William Ruto is a shrewd politician, but it's not patient enough. And sometimes he makes a lot of mistakes. One of the mistakes the deputy president made was to try to bypass an existing system. You can't bypass a system. There is no way. The world over, you can't. So the deputy president wanted to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta, but without going through all these other people. It can't. It has never worked. But it can only work under a coup. I don't think that's what the deputy president intended. The deputy president just wanted to stage, because he had believed that he was the deputy president. I mean, Moi had ruled for 24 years. At least there are Kalenjins in the military, in senior positions who would help him. But the mistake he did was to ignore these groups. If he had consulted with the elders, people like Sally Kosgei would have reached out to some of these gentlemen. Today, these gentlemen would have been divided. But today, they are united to stop the deputy president, William Samoei Ruto. That's number one. Number two is the Mount Kenya economy beyond 2022. Let's face it, there is what is called political economy. Siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. There are people who are doing businesses because of politics. There are businesses in this country which have collapsed because of politics. Equity rose, in my view, because of politics. The moment President Mwai Kibaki took over, that's the moment Equity Bank started flourishing. You can't argue with me on that. And even at that time, he had the support of Raila Odinga, and they opened several branches even in Nyanza here. The funds were channeled. Were they the youth funds? There were these several funds through Equity. And that's how Equity made their money. So the fact of the matter is that this guy wants to secure the interest of their economy post-President Uhuru Kenyatta. So the question is, how can they do this? They must identify a presidential candidate and support that candidate to become the president. And who is that candidate? That candidate is obviously Raila Amolo Odinga. And number three, these guys are out to mobilize funds and support for Raila Amolo Odinga. There's been this notion that Raila Odinga cannot be sold in the larger Mount Kenya region. That selling Raila Odinga in the larger Mount Kenya region is like selling a pork in a mosque. But that's now changing. And this group will ensure that it's going to change. They control the media. They control the businesses there. They control almost everything. So it will be easy for them to persuade the people of the larger Mount Kenya region to support Raila Amolo Odinga, and they'll give the reasons why they need to support Raila Amolo Odinga. But importantly, Raila Odinga needs the funding. So these guys have deep pockets. So removing 100 million for an event would not be a big problem for them. In fact, someone was asking me, Lee, can you name for me 10 tycoons you know from Luo Nyanza? I was stuck. I probably mentioned Kidero. I mentioned Wakiaga. And I mentioned Raila. Can you mention for me another billionaire from Loyaland, from Nyanza? Mention. I'm waiting for the list. So very few. But in the larger Mount Kenya region, because they've enjoyed power, they are actually billionaires down there. And lastly, this group is out to block the deputy president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, from succeeding President Uhuru Kenyatta. And they have this instruction from none other than President Uhuru Kenyatta. So William Ruto is not going to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya unless something radical happens. But through votes, Ruto is going to be blocked. This group is serious. And if they're plotting against you, the deep state is against you, I don't know who are going to count the votes and how they are going to announce William Ruto as the next president. Because of course already they are planning to create a perception that Ruto is losing in the larger Mount Kenya region and Raila is gaining. As we move forward, that's going to be very clear. And because that's going to be very clear, it will be easy to make Ruto win Central Kenya by 60% and give 40 to Raila. That will be the end of the deputy president. And I think there could be a lot why Uhuru and Ruto fell out, and we might not know as at now. But let us wait and see how all these events are going to unfold. Thank you, guys. And tomorrow, I want us to go right inside that particular meeting in Safari Park. The discussions, the lessons learned, the tasks given to Raila Odinga, and how the Mount Kenya Foundation will actually help Raila Odinga and his campaigns in 2022. Thank you, guys, and may you have a good day. Look, ikoaje leo, by the way? I know lights are not very okay, but I think sio mbaya. Bye-bye.